Hi, Ollie here from Audio Imperia, the creators of Native Instruments' first cinematic guitar library, Kithara. Combining 12 plucked instruments across 4 different sound layers, Kithara allows you to create an instantly inspiring, evocative sound world. Dial in different moods seamlessly with bespoke onboard effect macros and add an extra dimension to your scores with our Fragments engine, allowing you to create granular, fluttering sounds that enhance your textures, pads, and leads. With over 360 sound sources and more than 300 presets, Kithara allows you to create a distinctly unique, yet modern sound, offering an expansive array of musical possibilities. Each preset is easily tweakable and fully supports NKS2 integration for complete control keyboards. Throughout this walkthrough, we will have a look at what Kithara has to offer, as well as explore the capability and versatility of the engine. The homepage of Kithara contains a couple of options for us. In the center of the UI, you will see our 4 layers: attack, to sustain, and release. More on those in a moment. At the bottom, you will see the footer. This is available throughout the instrument and provides you easy access to some of your most commonly used controls. Modulation and expression, or global volume, can be found here, as well as easy access to switch on and off your character effects, dial in your Fragments mix, and refine the global resonance of your instrument. All of these will be covered later in the video. In the top right of the UI, you will see our navigation bar, containing access to our layers, fragments, effects, and settings pages. At the heart of Kithara is a 4-layer playback engine: an attack, 2 sustain, and release layer. Each one of these layers has a browser that allows you to select articulations from the 12 different guitars. Clicking on a guitar will bring up all the sounds available for that instrument, categorized into core, augmented, and designed articulations. Browse through and find your favorites, or click the dice if you're looking for some instant inspiration. Combine attack, sustain, and release layers to create your own unique instruments, all from a single instance of Kithara. Once you have selected your sounds, you'll be able to mix them together with the volume sliders, but also further customize them using the sound and shape controls. Each layer can be customized individually with a variety of options to pan, tune, filter, and shape each sound. Each of the parameters on the UI can be set to a static value, but we can also transform our performance even further. Clicking this pencil will open up the modulation controls. Pretty much every parameter across the instrument can be modulated, indicated by the two arrows that have now appeared. The larger circle indicates the default, or 0% modulation value, and the end of the purple line indicates the value at 100% modulation. Now, when I move my mod wheel, or click and drag the modulation control, each parameter will change linearly. Modulation can be set on all the sound, shape, and volume controls, as well as character and mix effects, resonance, and fragments. Just look out for the two arrows next to the control when you click the modulation button. The last extract you heard not only featured layers, but did you notice the other short granular effects? These are from our new Fragments engine inside of Kithara. Fragments acts as a granular fluttering effect over the top of your layers, triggering random complex sequences of notes from any of the 8 slots, which subtly alter the range of the instrument currently being played within the sustain or attack layers. On the Fragments page, you will see 4 headings. Select any attack layer as your fragment source, and make sure your fragments is turned on within your footer. As you begin to play, you will hear short attack layers triggered and processed through a variety of ways. The central icon displays each slot, and the color of each slot represents the various effects placed on it. Clicking on the pencil next to the slot allows you to edit these 5 parameters, as well as reduce the range or variation. The voices setting present more customization options. The Accepted Notes knob allows you to decide how many notes you wish to hear fragments triggered on. For example, if you were to play a 3-note chord but only wanted to hear tonic fragments, set your accepted notes to 1 and play your chord. You are also able to change the frequency of these fragments with the density control, as well as where they are placed in the stereo field with the scatter control. Reverse increases the likelihood that one of the 8 slots will trigger a reversed sample. Moving over to the Voices tab allows you to set the range of your fragments. With both sliders at 0, only the notes triggered on your keyboard will be heard, and this can be increased to 3 octaves either way, allowing for a maximum 6-octave fragment range. Voice assignment decides on which notes to assign fragments to. For example, if accepted notes is set to 3 and a 3-note chord becomes a 6-note chord, you can decide whether you want your fragments to follow this new harmony or remain on the original chord. The Harmony tab allows you to decide specific harmony you want the fragments to follow. With Harmony off, your fragments will follow what you play, but with this panel on, now your fragments are controlled by the notes set on the keyboard. You can decide a key center and a scale for the fragments to follow, or create your own custom scale, or maybe even let Kithara try and figure out the harmony based on the notes that you play. The Harmonic Complexity control decides how many notes from your selected scale are heard from the Fragments engine. At a low value, Fragments prioritizes strong harmonic choices, like tonic, octaves, and fifths. As you increase this value, the likelihood of weaker, more colorful harmony appears, such as minor seconds or tritones. Within the Effects page, you will see everything you need to subtly tweak and refine your instrument further inside the Mix tab. Alongside these, Kithara contains 3 character effects that allow you to change the tone of your instrument immediately and remove the need to tinker with pages of controls to achieve your desired result. Degrade adds a vintage, rustic, and dated sound to your instrument. Shatter packs a punch and allows your instrument to become more aggressive. Diffuse adds a blurred, smudging effect to your sound. Each of these character effects give you an instant distinction in sound and can be further refined in the Character Effects tab. Each of the subcategories, as well as the effects themselves, can be assigned to the modulation system. In the final page of Kithara, you will find the Options panel, where there are some further customization options. Alongside the velocity and transpose controls, anyone familiar with Audio Imperia libraries will be happy to find the tightness knob here. This allows you to assign your sample start period ranging from 0 milliseconds to 250 milliseconds. Also, you will find a resonance control to adjust the sympathetic resonances heard between the strings, allowing for a fuller, deeper sound. This control can also be found in the footer. Underneath this, there is an aftertouch control for users with a compatible aftertouch MIDI controller. Here you can assign up to 6 different parameters on both of the sustain layers that can be triggered either mono or polyphonically. Many of the presets inside Kithara already have aftertouch enabled, but you are able to adapt and change these to your own liking. The last thing to cover is the true mapping functionality within Kithara. By default, the key range available to you across the presets is defined by the attack layer, or the furthest left layer if attack is disabled. With the true mapping on, the full range of all 4 layers will be displayed and can be adjusted independently. Whilst useful, this can sometimes result in certain notes not triggering on all of the desired layers. With this toggle off, the instrument intelligently triggers a sustain layer if it doesn't appear in the attack layer key range, to ensure that every note within this key range contains the desired number of layers. Here we have an attack layer with a low range and a sustain layer with a high range. If we were to turn true mapping on, it would appear that the range of this instrument is rather large, but as we began to play, most of the key range is only triggering one note. Turning off the true mapping will now only show the attack layer range, but our sustain layers have now intelligently moved down the keyboard. As we play octaves, it finds the closest octave in the sustain layer and triggers it alongside my attack layer. Kithara also works with the new chords tool available in Contact 8, allowing you to create complex chord sequences with minimal user input. Kithara offers a new realm of possibility for cinematic acoustic guitars, combining 12 plucked instruments across 4 different sound layers, transformed with creative performance techniques and lush cinematic sound design. Kithara allows you to add an extra dimension to your scores. Thank you so much for watching, and for more information, head to nativeinstruments.com. Cheers!